Okay, welcome to Becky's Kitchen, and tonight we're going to do a pretty simple stir fry with chicken. So the ingredients, we're going to use cauliflower, bok choy, garlic, green capsicum, red capsicum, and chicken thigh. You can use any veggies you like. So this is what I've got in the fridge, so that's why we're using this. All right, I'll get it all organised to chop up and we'll get back to you. Alright, so I've washed the bok choy and I've cut it sort of lengthways, just rough. It's not too critical how it has to be. Next thing is capsicum. So best way to cut a capsicum is just run the knife down to the stalk part and then just open it out and just pull it back. So all the trim is there, so you have minimal wastage. And just take out that white pith. Same with this one. We're only going to use half of each. That'll be enough. Again, just pull that out like that. And we're just going to cut these up rough. So nothing too special, just in strips. Same with the green. You can put anything in this. You can put asparagus, you put zucchini if you want to. It's just whatever veggies you like. Stuff that cooks fairly quick. If you want to put carrot, that's okay. Just cut it a little bit thinner. Same with broccoli. Cauliflower, that's where we cut it a bit thinner. So I'm just going to cut off a piece there. I think that should be enough. And again, we just cut little, you don't have to cut flowerets like that and waste half of it. Just cut it in slices. So, no wastage, because you can eat the stalk. Alright, that's the cauliflower. That's all on there as well. Move that to the side, chop up the garlic. Oh, I don't know, 2 cloves like that should be enough. 2 big cloves. I'll just get my chopping knife. So just cut the ends off. It's a little easier to peel. Bang, bang. Skin comes straight off. This is Mexican garlic. Argentinian garlic, that's what I like to use, or the Australian. I'm not a big fan of the Chinese garlic, it just doesn't have much taste. Alright, so now the garlic chop up, put into a bowl, because it's going to go with the chicken. So the chicken thighs, a couple of bits of thigh there, three bits of thigh. And what we do is we cut it into strips. You can trim off the fat if you want to. There's a little bit of fat there, you can trim that off. Because we cut this reasonably thin, if you don't take off a lot of the excess fat, what will happen is you'll end up with a piece of fat in while you're eating it. So all we do is just cut it into strips. Maybe a bit better for that. So we're just cutting it into strips. Into the bowl with the garlic. Now this stir fry, if you're going to do this, cook your rice first, because this stir fry takes like 10 minutes. It doesn't take long at all. It's a good way to get veggies into the kids as well. So, and make it colourful. It looks colourful, it looks inviting. Alright, so they're cut into strips. And the reason I cut them into strips, it's a bit more pleasant to eat than in big chunks, and it cooks quicker. So we need to put some potato starch into this. So probably a couple of heaped teaspoons. Then give it a mix around with the garlic in it as well. And you can leave it like that. Now if you want to put a little bit of colour, you can put just a little bit of soy. So I'll be adding some soy later anyway, but we just put a little bit in, like half a teaspoon if that. Just give it a bit of stickiness. And a drop of water, probably a teaspoon of water. That way you're going to make the chicken sticky, and it's almost like a little bit of a coating on the outside when you fry it off. Stir fry it off, I should say. Right, that's done. So I'll get back to you when the wok's hot and we'll start the process. Alright, we've got that wok nice and hot now, smoking hot. So we can put our chicken in and stir fry that off. So that goes in there. And garlic as well. And the temperature is going to drop very quickly. So we need to keep it on high heat. And that's why it's really important to make sure that your wok is super hot before you even start. Because if you don't, this chicken's going to just stick to the pan and it's going to become all gluggy. This way you're going to have a coating and it'll be that more authentic style. You get that nice shine about it. So we don't need to keep stirring it because we're going to cool it down too much. I just want to separate them all roughly. What we'll also be using in this dish is some rice wine. That one's my favourite from Taiwan. A little bit of hoisin sauce, which is gluten-free. Some chili sauce, which I like that one. And some gluten-free soy. A little bit. When that's about half cooked, then we'll add the vegetables. You don't want the veggies overcooked, you want them a little bit crunchy still. And this stir fry, you could do beef, you could do prawns, you could do fish, seafood. But if you were doing prawns or seafood, they cook quite quickly, so you might start with your cauliflower first, then add your capsicum, then take it off the heat, reheat the pan, and cook the seafood, then add the veggies, and then the bok choy last in the sauces and very quickly. Right, so this is coming along nicely. So it's nice and sealed off. I'm going to add the cauliflower, so that will take longer. Now I haven't added salt to this. The reason being, those sauces we're going to add are all a little salty. So at the end we'll taste it and we'll see if it needs salt. Normally we put salt in with the oil to stop the garlic burning, but because we had the chicken mixed with the garlic, the temperature of the wok would drop quite quickly. And it's not going to burn the garlic anyway. So just giving that a whiz around. Now we'll add the capsicum. The bok choy will be the last thing we add. I'm going to put some rice wine, maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons. Some hoisin. Probably, that's about 2 teaspoons. About 2 teaspoons of soy. And my chili. You don't need to put chili, it's totally up to you. So I'll give that a bit of a mix around. So that looks nice and shiny now. So with the bowl you have the chicken in. There's still some potato starch in that and stuff, so we're going to add a little bit of water to that. So we'll probably put in half a cup maybe. And you make sure you wash all that potato starch off. Tip that into your stir fry. That will thicken. We're going to put the lid on this, and this will take about 2 or 3 minutes and it'll be ready. I'll get back to you. Alright, so that's been on for a couple of minutes. We're going to chuck the bok choy in and cook a little longer. Basically with that bok choy will just wilt. And look at the colours, sensational. And we just served this on rice. We're going to add a little bit more water to it. Use a bit more sauce. Again, it's up to you how much sauce you want, that's how much water you put in. And if you need to thicken it a little bit more, then you just add more potato starch later on. Which I might just do to show you. I'll make this a little bit more saucy just to show you, if you do want it that way, what to do. That's ideal for how I would normally have it. And I'm going to put a little more. So you put potato starch into the water, mix it around so it dissolves, otherwise you get lumps, and then just add a little bit more. And if it gets too thick, you just add a bit more water. That's like a dog chasing its tail around in circles. Now I want to taste it to make sure it's okay. Mainly it's salt, because I did put salt. And it tastes fine. So it doesn't need any salt at all. And that's ready. All we do is serve that on rice. I'll get back to you when I serve it up. Okay, so ready to serve. So I like steamed rice. So mine goes on steamed rice. My wife prefers quinoa, which is lower in carbohydrate and higher in nutrition than white rice. So she gets quinoa. And look at that. Look, there's enough for 3 people there. A little bit of coriander for decoration, totally optional. Just a little bit on top. And voila, enjoy.